Welcome back to Taiwan Now Look. We have been having conversation with Mr. Guo Chonglun, Deputy Chief Editor of China Times. Chonglun, we've been talking about the relation between the media and the government. But in most specific terms, President Ma's relation with the media has been under scrutiny as well. And he has been hosting several international conferences or local press conferences. How do you see his performance at the press conferences?
I would say that so far that's the only communication way that Ma is having with the press. There's no layers of information. As you know, that in the United States, you have a president who can talk privately with the columnists, or senior columnists. You have the president talking with the editorial board of a certain newspaper, New York Times or Washington Post. And you have president giving press conference. I think the lowest kind of level is president giving press conferences. That's the time when you are thinking, one is that you have been quite successful, is the at the end of 1 year anniversary, you want to demonstrate that you have done a lot, or you're under pressure that something had gone wrong. You are accepting scrutiny from the press. I think either way is not a good way. And another thing is, when Ma Ying-jeou tried to speak in English, his English, of course, is very good. But sometimes when he tried to say it either to a press or a foreign dignitary, you need some time to rethink.
That's right.
Our previous president, maybe, even Jiang Jingguo, they said they understand English as well. When you do the translation, you have some time to think how you can respond.
That's right.
And also, when you say something that you found you slip your tongue, it's not correct, you have your translator do it for you, which is do it correct way.
That's right.
I think that as a head of the state, it's more prudent that you speak in native tongue rather than English. But if you want to save time, you can do it when the other people say in English. You can try to accept that in sometimes you can do it for time's sake, but sometimes you cannot do it.
That's right. Some people think that President Ma talks too much, especially during the press conferences. Some people think that he only expressed official lines, not much that he had added to the previous statements. What's your take on that? Well,
we have been, for the latest press conference, we have been trying to get some news headline from it, and it's very hard. Everything he said had been said before.
Yeah.
There's no major policy announcement. So if it's like that, it's not very good for you to have a press conference again. Coming back, I would still say that still protecting his image too much.
That's right.
If the press, you want to press know you better, you have to lower your guard. You have to present yourself as a human being. I mean, these kind of things are the people really like to know you. Rather, it's I think if you try to build up your image too much, in the end, if the image crumbles, that will hurt you even more.
So you think he's too cautious in managing his relationship with media?
He's too cautious, and he's trying to protect his image. All the people surrounding him try to protect his image too much.
But on the other hand, it's very important for the leader of a democracy to talk to the people through the media.
Right.
So what do you think that the media's role in this process, to help to relay the message by the president to the general public?
I think for the media, first of all, we shouldn't feel grateful that Ma Ying-jeou is granting us an interview or something like that. Rather, it's like if you want to do an interview, you have to do it properly. We will submit some questions beforehand, but we will throw out some unexpected question later on. And in terms of, I saw sometimes the French interview with the president. They have a host, just like you have two guest journalists, and you have the president. That kind of model is, I think, is very good. I think you can move from topic to topic. You can have follow-up questions right away on the spot. And the only way, if you want to present yourself, you can do it through that. But otherwise, by having a press conference is not really a good way. Right?
But on the other hand, it's very important for the president to try to build up his image, a positive image among the general public. But on the other hand, people are thinking that the media should be very critical of the president's policy, of the president himself. What's the balance over there?
So far, we are still in the Ma Ying-jeou celebrity period. And you see all the social groups, they want to ask Ma Ying-jeou to be their guest of honor and to raise funding and so on and so forth. But this initial period of celebrity or mystifying of this figure will be gone. And then later on, the media will lose its interest just on the first family.
That's right.
There will be more focus on what he did and what he had talked and why he had been inconsistent.
The policies.
And the policy. And, but in Taiwan system, just like in other countries' system, it's quite easy to put the blame on the premier. So by keep changing the premier, sometimes you can setting up a scapegoat. But anyway, still the country is in your leadership. So what you said and what you do should be very careful. And I think he should really take good use of his time. He had been taking too much commitment outside, taking this event and that event. Yeah. And you are the leader of the countries. You should save your energy. You should save your time and focusing on the major issues. So far, I think his priority should be building the consensus among the whole Taiwanese. You still have more than 4 million people haven't voted for you. And how you can build a consensus is not going to Kaohsiung or the South all the time. You have to do it through a policy way. And I have written, wrote a column saying that Ma Ying-jeou should consider pardoning Chen Shui-bian. And that is a genuine way of national reconsideration.
Do you think he would do that?
I don't know. I hope. I mean, just when I see in the inauguration ceremony, the previous president is not attending. Although President Chen had been gracefully attending the handover in the presidential office, he's not attending the other one. But anyway, also for the media, I think we should take a longer view to evaluating what had been done good for President Chen and what he had been done bad. This have to be, I mean, after all, he had served the country for 8 years. And 8 years is a crucial moment for Taiwan. And this have to be evaluated in a longer period of time. At this moment, you keep glorifying Ma and put down Chen Shui-bian. It's not, I think it's a very short-sighted view.
One criticism that President Chen got during his presidential tenure was that he was running the government by reading the media every day. He's very concerned about his coverage, stories, his image in the media. So are you suggesting that President Ma should escape from the media and forget about the spotlights and really think carefully about the policies?
No, I'm not saying that. I say that media will put out some question and those kind of concern by the people. You should address the concern. But don't care that much about what media has said about you. But concern those issues that is really people care about. So another way of saying about Chen Shui-bian presidency is that he keep watching the poll.
That's right.
Right, and but I think for Ma Ying-jeou, poll is important. The media opinion is important, but you have to show a way. And the people of Taiwan and and people in the media, the business I'm working with, we'll give you some time, maybe at the end of this year. But you have to show that you can deliver. You have the way that we can see that if you are showing us this way, the path in front of us is still promising, and then we will choose to follow you. That will be the way.
And there's a rumor in the media, circle that President Ma only remembered the reporters who wrote bad news about Ma, and he would never remember the journalists who wrote good news about him. Do you think that? Have you ever heard of that?
I think that's the thing that co-workers of Ma is keep complaining that Ma is easy forgetting them. I mean, the second time, the third time they meet with Ma, they still don't know his name or her name. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if you wrote the article criticizing Ma and Ma remember you, which is a good thing. I don't have a problem with that. But the main thing is that you raise the problem and you raise the question that really let them remember. I think that's what the media should do.
Yeah. I know that, Chong Lun, you've been also responsible for the international news at the newspaper. So when we come back, we'll talk about how difficult it is to report international news in Taiwan and what are the international media's coverage about Taiwan. So don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.